This conference will now be recorded.
So who and what? It's time to brag about ourselves a bit. So we're basically into automatic fire detection and suppression systems for equipment level protection. And we have been in the market since a decade. We started in October 2010 and have been installing several hundreds of critical equipment fire suppression systems across India and some parts of Malaysia. Now, critical equipment doesn't mean just CNC machine, but any equipment or any business asset which is very important for a continuous business operation. And we have been leading the market with the fire suppression system for the CNC machines in India since several years. At the heart of the company lies its core values, that is excellence, innovation, integrity, and respect. Now, these are values that we do not just have it on our board, but this is something that we very seriously follow within our organization. These values not only translate into a niche and reliable end product, but also in the way its team reciprocates to the client needs at every step. So the company is only as good as its people and product, and its product reflects the quality, intelligence, and excellence of its people. So VFire is our own brand, and we're distributors of a couple of international brands as well. Airfire Worldwide is one of them. So Airfire is also into fire suppression systems. However, we are only promoting their Harman Fire Chef kitchen suppression system, which is for the kitchen chimneys and kitchen roofs of the domestic, not domestic, but commercial and industry. Firetrace International Limited. These are again, I mean, this company is again into tube-based detection systems, and they are the pioneers in the tube systems launched, 30 years back. Let's discuss a bit about the milestones. So when we started, we were sub-dealer, which we were buying it from other vendors in the market in India and selling it. 2011, we became dealers of Firetrace International Limited. We became distributors of Firetrace in 2015, and we started importing directly from the UK manufacturing plant. We became manufacturers in 2018. So the VFire, our own brand, is something that is manufactured by ourselves. To spread the reach in the market for the critical equipment fire suppression, we started exhibiting in exhibitions such as IMTOS in Delhi, Intex in Bangalore in 2017 and 2019, CMR Tech exhibition in Mumbai and Pune. CMR Tech is basically an electrical consultants association of Maharashtra. In 2019, we were acknowledged by the Economic Times as the best brand in the metal cutting industry. This is a small video. I think the audio is not there. However, this clip was from the ET Now. The telecast was live on ET Now. So all the videos will be uploaded. I think the video may buffer at your end, may or may not buffer. So you do not need to worry. We have several videos. So we will be uploading all the video links onto a YouTube link, onto YouTube, and we will be sending you across the links. So you can refer it later. So these are few of the verticals that we cater to: CNC machines, electrical panel, EM machines, UPS battery racks, kitchen hoods, data server racks, storage racks, mining equipment, and wind turbine. So let's discuss a basic of types of fire. Now we must have learned it in the school that learned about fire triangle, which is oxygen, heat, and fuel. So for a fire to start, you need three things, that is three elements, that is oxygen, fuel, and fire. So to stop the spread of the fire, you have to remove any one of these elements to break the triangle. So if we remove oxygen and knock down the fire, that is called smothering. If we remove heat, that is called cooling. And if we remove fuel from the fire, that is called starving. We are all aware of the classes of fires. However, let's just refresh a bit before going ahead. The Class A fires are ordinary combustibles which consist of wood, paper, cloth, rubber, plastics. Class B includes flammable liquids, and in some countries, Class B also includes flammable gases as well. So it's gasoline, petroleum, tar, oil, paint, solvent, alcohol, even diesel, any petroleum liquids. Class C consists of electrical fires such as computer, servers, motor, transformers. So any fire related to electrical equipment is considered under Class C. Class D is combustible metals, which consists of magnesium, titanium, zirconium, sodium, lithium, and several others. Class K consists of cooking oil, greases, animal fat, and vegetable fat. Now, it is very important that we use the proper extinguisher for the proper fire. If we do not, it could lead into a disaster. The common types of fire extinguisher agents. We have water, foam, ABC powder, Class D powder, carbon dioxide, wet chemical, Novak, and FM200. Now, the last two are usually not available off the shelf as portable extinguishers, but these are mainly available as big purpose flooding systems used for server rooms or even CNC machines for, in this case, these are only available in the big systems. Now, water is meant for Class B fire. As I mentioned in my previous slide, it is very important that you use the proper extinguisher for the proper class of fire. If not, it will not suppress the fire. It may even turn into a big hazard and something that becomes uncontrollable. So let's discuss about process of fire in a CNC machine. Presence of meat cutting oil with low flash point. Meat cutting oil is something that is very, very important. It is based nothing but a coolant. So there are machines which use water-based coolants. There are machines which use meat cutting oil as a coolant. It totally depends on what kind of end product that you want, what is the quality or what is the end product. And that defines what coolant that you would be using inside the machines. Hazardous oil mist, fumes within the grinding envelope. Now, oil mist and oil fumes are not just a fire hazard, but a personal safety hazard as well. And to my knowledge, with my experience, oil mist and oil fumes are more hazardous than the meat cutting oil itself. Mist extractor not installed. The mist which accumulates inside. Now, the grinding process involves a lot of heat which is generated. Because of this heat, there's always oil fumes within the CNC enclosures, within the CNC envelope. It is very important that this oil mist is removed out of the machine so that there is no hazard. Because these oil mists are more hazardous in terms of fire. They have an even lower flash point, and it leads to blasts when, if at all, there is a fire scenario. This extractor not working is also another way of not extracting the collected mist inside the machines. Foreign objects inside the machines. In a CNC machine, the only objects that should be present are the equipment which is to be grinded or machined and the electronics of the machine itself. Anything other than that, any tools which we may have left when we are trying to maintain the system, these all can process as a hazard when the machine is under operation. Mismanagement of dust and metal chips. While grinding is happening, there's a lot of metal dust, metal chips which is getting thrown all over. If we do not collect it and if we do not crush it properly and take it out of the grinding envelope, it can cause into a fire hazard. We have a lot of instances, we have a lot of case studies where flying objects or flying metal chips has caused the fire, but the grinding operation itself. Flying metal chips, like I said before. Grinding sludge, the right hand side corner bottom picture That is something called as grinding sludge. And grinding sludge is nothing but very small metal particles mixed with oil. These are again very, very hazardous, and these are more prone to catch fire than the leaf cutting oil itself. This leaf cutting oil, we flush it, we cool it, and we get it back in, we pump it back into the machine. However, if the grinding sludge is not removed or exposed properly, it will cause a fire hazard. As per our experience, we've already got a fire experience where a grinding sludge was the cause of fire. Cutting oil, as I already mentioned above, wrong and not enough coolant. There are various types of coolants available in the market with various flash points, various properties. So using the right coolant is very, very important. Grinding spark. A grinding operation always involves spark, some kind of spark. Now, if the grinding is not proper, maybe tool crash, the grinding spark can make a big fire because of all the above reasons, which is oil mist, presence of oil mist. I'm sorry, I got into mute. Tool change error. So fire suppression challenges in CNC with portable extinguishers. Dense smoke makes firefighting difficult. Fire occurs in the form of a blast. We will see this in the following videos. We have certain videos. So a CNC fire many a times occurs in the form of a blast because of the availability of a lot of oil mist inside the machines. Closed doors of CNC machines make firefighting with handheld portables very difficult because if I discuss about the above point, closed doors, when we are trying to open the door and there's a fire inside, what will happen is there could be a cloud of flame, very hot air and smoke which will erupt out of the machine as soon as the operator tries to open the door. This makes firefighting even more challenging. This makes firefighting even more challenging if we are using a portable extinguisher and if we do not have an automatic fire suppression installed inside the machine. As you see in the picture on the right hand side corner, there is smoke erupting out of a machine which is under fire. So time lapse from visual detection of fire until the operator can open the door to machine, being in a cycle of operation. This is again any fire, not just a CNC fire or an EDM fire, any fire, if it is not knocked down at the very earliest stage, it will erupt into a ball of fire which will become uncontrollable. So it is very, very important that the detection and suppression of the fire happens at a very, very early stage. Unlike a portable extinguisher where it is very, very difficult to control the fire. So ready availability of leaf cutting oil with low flash point, as we have discussed before. Hence, due to all above reasons, if we take care of all the above reasons, we may not need an automatic fire suppression system on our machines at all. However, who will account for the human error? To err is to human. Hence the need of an automatic fire suppression system within your machines. Let's talk about titanium fire a bit because this is something which is a hot topic within the fire industry as well as the machine tool industry. Now, titanium is the only metal to have high strength with low density, and one which also have which is also highly resistant to corrosion. Aerospace and medical implant industries have a high demand for machine titanium parts, which is having high tolerance. Due to the high flash point of titanium, many shop owners refuse to turn titanium because they are intimidated and convinced of a fire hazard within their machines. Titanium does pose a fire threat. However, by and large, most fire starts in the coolant oil having less than half the flash point of a titanium. Now, titanium usually has a flash point of around 350, 400, 450, and most leaf cutting oil come in the range of around 200 degrees Celsius with a flash point of around 200 degrees Celsius. There are leaf cutting oil which has even lower flash point, like 100, 130 degrees Celsius. So once the fire grows, the temperature within the enclosure becomes hot enough to ignite the titanium. Let me repeat the above paragraph once again. Titanium does possess a fire threat. However, by and large, most fires start from the coolant oils having less than half the flash point of titanium. So once the fire grows, the temperature within the enclosure becomes hot enough to ignite titanium. In most cases, titanium do not ignite on its own. It is the oil which starts the fire. Thus, the solution, no doubt, is to detect such oil fires at a very early stage and at an incipient stage so that the temperature can never build up to a level where the titanium will ignite. Now, here a point to understand is titanium is a metal which is class D, and meat cutting oil is an oil which is class D. So if we are to install a fire suppression system, we will be installing a fire suppression system which can cater to class D because that is where the fire mostly begins. Let's see the collateral damage if there is a fire inside the machine. Business downtime, I don't have to say much about it. Uh, Revenue loss, business downtime and revenue loss are directly related. Production loss, loss of human life, legal hassles of a fire, infrastructure loss, and the list can go on and on, on and on. However, let's close it at this because I do not want to scare you all. So this is the latest CNC fire news that we looked up in the internet. This happened in US. So firefighters were called to commercial fire. Fire was confined to the large CNC machine. The majority of buildings sustained only smoke damages. Estimated cost of damage is not known. The fire was quickly put out and no occupants were inside the building at the time of the fire. Hence, there was not much of collateral damage in terms of human loss or human life. So this is the source. Now, this is a small video. Like I said before, if it is not playing on your PC, do not worry, we will be sending you the link across. This is not related to CNC, but I put it across only for the reason that a small fire within no time can turn into an inferno. Let's watch the video. The chef comes and she'll turn the meat. Observe the timing, which is 22:43:33. This is where the flame starts to erupt. If it was taken care of, or if the fire was knocked down at this stage, we wouldn't have to see what we would in a couple of minutes. So the fire has spread to adjacent areas, and these guys have managed to take some part of it and throw it off. However, the source of the fire still remains. They're trying to spread water. Now they'll take out a bucket of sand, all in vain. Look at the mental state of mind. One of the chefs is still trying to save the food, but not trying to knock down the fire. Chaos, confusion. Very soon, the CCTV will also be burned and we'll lose the feed. So the fire started at 22:43:30 seconds, and we lost the CCTV footage at 22:45:37. So it was 2 minutes and 7 seconds. In a matter of couple of minutes, we witnessed a flame-giving fire, leading to chaos and confusion, followed by inferno and destruction. So this is what will happen if we do not detect the fire at its very, very early stage. And we cannot be assured that we will be monitoring the machines every now and then, because these days we have multiple machines being taken care by a single operator. Anything can go wrong. Hence, an automatic fire suppression system which will do its work on its own makes sense. These are some of the CNC fire videos. Notice the blast on the left-hand side. As I mentioned in my previous slides, CNC fires made many a times occurs as a blast. Let's look at the other video on the right-hand side. You see the explosion? See the papers, files flying away because of the explosion. Let's look at the solution that we have for now. So we have two types of systems. One is the tube discharge system, which we'll discuss about now. So we have a cylinder and we have a detection tube. We do not use a conventional smoke detectors or flame detectors, although we can use those as well, the industrial grade. However, in this system, it consists of a linear heat detection tube which is routed across the fire zone. This tube acts as a sensor as well as the discharge agent. As well, the discharge gas will be discharged through the very opening of the tube. Let's look at the live video. So this was an automatic fire suppression system which we conducted as a live demo. These are a few of the installation pictures of a tube discharge system. Now this is MNGL MRS. MNGL supplies natural gas. Now this is a hub where high pressure gas is converted into low pressure gas, so that from the plant it goes into the individual units where it has to be supplied, and this is the conversion unit which is very, very hazardous. So this is protected by us. KS Shell petrol pump. So these are both electrical panels on the right hand side. This is a data center rack, an electrical panel again, and battery racks in Sandvik. UPS battery rack is one of the most hazardous areas which is also ignored. Let's look at nozzle discharge system. As I said, there are two types of system. One is a tube discharge system and the other is a nozzle discharge system. So in a nozzle discharge system, the principle is the same. Linear heat detection tube is routed within the hazard. As soon as there's a fire, the detection tube will rupture at a particular temperature and open the differential pressure valves on the cylinder. And through the nozzles, through the discharge pipe, the gas will flow directly on top of the fire. Now, a nozzle discharge system can also be operated manually. So if an operator sees a fire before the system activates on its own, he can always activate it manually. Let's look at a live demo. So here we have two cylinders, one on this side, one on the other side. and we have 4 nozzles on each corners, and the detection tube is rooted inside the pit. Now we'll light a fire. Here we are using a dry chemical powder as the agent. This is good for open areas where there could be a little bit of wind, and powder is the ideal agent for such locations. This is a gas discharge from all 4 locations. So this is a typical system which we install in a CNC or an EDM. However, the gas will not be the same. Let's look at a schematic. This is the cylinder with the extinguishing gas. The detection tube is routed inside the envelope. It will be installed on the walls and the ceilings. The green color is the discharge pipe connected with the nozzles, again inside the machine. And the manual actuator. This is a schematic of an EDM machine. In an EDM machine, the detection tube is usually routed below the ram, because that is where the fire usually starts. And we have the discharge nozzles besides the ram. And a manual actuator. So let's discuss about the extinguishing gas which we would be using for CNC and EDM applications. The VPAR recommends the use of 3M Novak 1230 or SK5112 clean agent gases for CNC machines. There are other gases also which can be used, like a CO2 or an FM200 or even dry chemical powder. However, the advantages that Novak has, no other gases have it. So few of the advantages which I can mention is it's a clean extinguishing gas. It's electronically non-conducting. It has zero ozone depletion potential, only 5-day atmospheric lifetime, and a global warming potential of 1. It has the widest margin of human safety across all the extinguishing gases available in the market as on date. And the best advantage is it has a shelf life of 15 to 20 years. Unless your system gets discharged on its own, you do not have to replace the gas. Only thing that you need to do is hydro test the cylinders every 5 years as per the government norms, and you can replace the same gas once again and reuse it. For EDMs, we recommend a use of Bioversal QFR foam. Now, this is a beautiful foam which extinguishes the fire with all 3 principles. First is cooling. It cools the environment around the fire. It breaks the chemical chain. Thus, it suppresses the fire because of a chemical reaction after discharge. Smothering. Encapsulates the fuel, thus creating a blanket. And starving. Starving means cutting off of the oxygen, as we saw in our previous presentation. Bioversal QFR further also traps combustible gas compounds that are released by the burning fuel, preventing further explosions and enhancing visibility and safety during fire. So encapsulate means it basically encapsulates the fuel compounds and the smoke compounds. Thus, the smoke which comes out is far lighter than a regular smoke which would come out during a usual fire. Some of the installation tips on a CNC machine. So we have a cylinder which is mounted besides. So the advantage of these systems are these systems save a lot of space compared to a conventional CO2-based systems. So it saves as much as saves space as much as the CNC machine itself. Because the use concentration of Novak 1230 is just 4.2% to 6% compared to a CO2 which could go up to 60% for a CNC machine application. Hence, for a location where you need to use 10 cylinders of a CO2, if you're trying to replace it with Novak, you will only have to use just 4 cylinders of Novak 1230 or SK5112. So this is the tube which is mounted on the walls. of a machine. It looks aesthetically not bad. And the manual actuator. You just have to remove the yellow clip and press the red button, and the system will activate manually. We also give a footer along with the system which will alert any people around. So these are the few makes in which our systems are installed: Agathon, Anka, Diping, Citizen, Chamfer, Curtis, Evac, Earthlin, Zunker, Micromatic, SNS, Sugami, ITM, Zumaximat, Apex, Asma, Zuminimat, RAG, Leo, Liber, Vida, Vent, UVA, Nakamura, Shijiya. Apart from this, there are also OEM suppliers for various manufacturers in India as well as abroad. A few of our client lists. So let's look at some other products that we have other than the automatic fire suppression that we just presented. I may have gone a little fast, however, we will be sharing all the presentations as well as you're welcome to discuss one-on-one post the presentation as well. These are anti-theft and deterrent systems. It can be used in any industries. So this is an exit stopper. I think the audio is not working. However, I will explain and comment and do the commentary while the video is running. It prevents unauthorized exits and entries through emergency exit doors. Now, as we all are aware, emergency exit doors should be used only during an emergency and it should not be used for a daily in and out purpose. And to deter people from using it, we can use a system which is something similar. When you open a door, the alarm will sound. It is blinking now, it means it is sounding. Because the audio is not available, you are not able to hear it right now. Extinguisher theft stopper. Now, many a times I have personally observed that extinguishers are used as door closures or door stoppers. So as you would see, as soon as the extinguisher was removed, the hooter would start sounding. I'll just play it once again. It will not be, it would not have been understood because there's no audio. And you see the extinguisher is connected through a wire and it goes into the theft stopper. As soon as someone tries to remove the extinguisher, the cable comes off and the alarm will start sounding. So this is a good way to deter misuse of extinguishers, misplace of extinguishers, theft of fire extinguishers. A compact theft alarm system. This is again an inexpensive way, yet a highly effective way to protect a wide range of equipment, including firefighting equipment from theft, misuse, and other equipment. So these are again magnetic contacts. You would see the contacts are placed below the extinguisher. As soon as you remove the extinguisher, you activate the system, and when you remove the extinguisher, now the alarm will start sounding. You need to clip back the actuator, only then the alarm will stop sounding. This is a very simple system which can be used not just for extinguisher, but for any other equipment which we do not want to misplace or which we do not want to be replaced to someplace else. This is a corporate video. So this was our presentation. Thank you, and we can throw open the session for the question and answers. Nageshji? Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, can I have some question?
Definitely, sir. Please go ahead.
This system will work manually, or it will be always like a fire extinguisher system that once the temperature will reach, they will automatically come into picture.
These are automatic systems, sir. So we just have to install it within the machine or with whatever application that you're choosing. And as soon as there's a fire, the system will automatically sense the fire and also actuate and suppress the fire. Plus, you also have an option of actuating it manually. So these are automatic systems.
And the operating temperature can be adjustable, or it will vary?
So it can be adjusted slightly, not very much. It is ideally set at 100 degrees Celsius. So the tube will rupture at 100 degrees Celsius. So we can adjust a bit, maybe up to 110 on the higher side or 120 on the higher side, but not more than that. And in a CNC machine, that is the ideal temperature. We've had several fire accidents where a system was installed, where the system has successfully detected the fire and suppressed the fire as well. And I will not brag, but this is a fact that now we have so many installations that every month there is at least one fire incident in one of our customers' place, and we have a set of cylinders in our plant for refilling. So that is the kind of effectiveness or proven our system is.
You have any video for the, domestic, such type of fires happens during the operations?
I showed you a couple of videos, which were a 10-second video and a 12-second video. Those were during actual operations. We do have other videos as well. We will definitely share the links with you. While the fire is happening and it has suppressed the fire, we will share the links with you.
Okay.
You want it for a CNC machine, right?
Yeah, because in my career of last 20 years, I never observed such type of fire in the working area. Maybe sometimes in electrical panels or HD panels it happens, but in CNC machines or grinding machines, I didn't observe such events.
You're very lucky, sir, and you must be maintaining your machine very well. That is one of the primary reasons. And so in a CNC machine, there are hundreds of ways that it can catch fire. I just mentioned 9 to 10 ways over here. I can give you examples where oil was accumulated below the machine, and because of the hot flying metal chips, the oil got ignited. So the metal chips were the temperature of the metal chips were very, very high, say around 300 to 50 degrees Celsius. And it fell into the oil and the oil caught fire. So this is one of the incidents. The other incident was because there was not a fume extractor. And because there was not a fume extractor, the fume inside the machine was so high that because of the grinding spark, there was a blast. So,
right.
we have so many examples that we can give you where our system was installed, there was a fire, and it successfully doused the fire. But it's obviously only applicable for machines which use meat cutting oil. You do not require if you're using a regular water-based pool.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. So which company are you from, sir?
Actually, I am calling from Haridwar, from Victoria Auto
Okay.
Private Limited. We
Okay.
have here 3 units, and we have
Okay.
forging units, and we have machining units here in Haridwar region. So I am looking after the
Okay.
maintenance of this Haridwar Victoria group. So maybe if you have some,
Wonderful.
your representative in this area, then I would like to
Hmm.
discuss more on this topic with him on face to face.
Definitely, sir. Our head office is located in Pune, and we travel across India. Our engineers and our sales team travel across India. So we will definitely fix up an appointment and see you face to face once the lockdowns are open.
Right, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you for having the attend the presentation.
Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
Mr. Vikas.
Yes, sir. There one pressure switch is fitted in fire extinguisher sensor, right? So suppose if any electrical malfunction is going on happen, so it will be work automatically. Suppose pressure switch is not working, then our cylinder is not working. Only two gas leakage. Then what we do?
So your
There
voice
is
is not audible. Can you repeat the question?
actually pressure switch is there, right, in fire extinguisher system.
In our system,
Yes.
yes, pressure switch is there, but pressure switch is not used for detection. Our pressure switch is only used to connect it maybe to your machine, to shut off your machine or shut off your fume extractor or auto door closure. So our pressure switch is comes into the picture when the system has been activated. So the primary detection happens through the detection tube. Is that what your question was?
What, sir?
So have I answered your question?
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, okay.
Hello.
Thank you. So you means only pressure switch picture in when activated, that time only pressure switch is in active.
Yes, yes. Pressure switch is not in the active. Pressure switch only gets activated when the system is activated, when the fire suppression system is activated, not before.
Okay. And suppose if small fire will happen, temperature is not arise, why tube is not function. Okay. And our
Mhm.
anyone main switch is off, then it will not open na, that our pressure switch not activated and our cylinder also not activated na, well.
Uh, it's a good question, sir. For our system operation, you do not need any electricity. It is operated without electricity. That is one of the major advantages of our system. Now, coming to the second question of pressure switch, yes, for the actuation of pressure switch, you need electricity. You need power. However, your machine will still be safe because to operate the fire suppression system, you do not need uh, any electricity.
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Any other questions?
Hello, am I
Yes, sir.
audible?
Yes, sir. You're very much audible.
Yeah, thank you for a very nice webinar today. Actually, I work in a chemical plant and which deals with the highly inflammable gases. So, how
Okay.
your system is beneficial for us?
Okay. Uh, So firstly, you will have to jot down the application that you're looking at. Secondly, our system is very versatile. So we gave a presentation for a CNC machine or an EDA machine. However, our system is versatile, hence it can be used for any other applications as well. We've also given this for forging, where the in forging units. So it is a versatile system. So once you let us know that where there is frequent fire mishaps happening, we can identify the location, learn about how the fire happens, and we can give you a solution.
Okay. So, and what will be the capacity of the cylinder you provide?
Okay. So it is available in 2 kg, 4 kg, 6 kg, 9 kg, 12 kg, and 18 to 20 kg.
Perfect. Yeah. So,
and yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I think in place of going through the big fire hydrant system, if we install small like your system in different locations, like in DG sets, like in electrical panel, like in the nearby the reactors where fumes generates. So can we do like that?
Absolutely, sir. Now,
Will it be cost effective?
I wouldn't say you to replace your regular fire suppression system like the hydrant or a sprinkler. However, this is an addition to those. Now, what happens is hydrant and sprinkler. For a sprinkler to activate, the whole room has to be under fire. At the same time, if you identify which are the equipments in that room that can start fire, and if we protect those, there may not be a need that sprinklers are activated because we are attacking the source of the fire. So basically, if we identify the machines which can start fire and protect those, we can knock down the fire at a very early stage. And there would not be need to go up to fire hydrant or using a fire hydrant or a sprinkler. And in any which ways, the sprinkler systems and fire hydrant systems are only meant, it is not meant to suppress the fire. These are only meant so that if there's a fire there in a particular room, the sprinkler will only support that the fire does not spread to adjacent rooms. So that is the purpose of a sprinkler. It will not suppress the fire. Moreover, sprinklers are water-based, so it can destroy the equipments, the electronic equipments. Whereas what we are using a gas-based, non-conducting equipment. So it is absolutely safe for electronics, for your documents. It is absolutely safe for human beings to be used in occupied spaces. So these are basically equipment level protection. So I would not recommend to replace them. I would recommend to add on to your existing fire suppression system. Yes.
Okay. And how long we can install these cylinders to that area where it is to be fitted?
How long?
Yeah, like 2 meters
so the detection
tube.
Absolutely, sir. We can do that. The detection tube has to be maximum 15 to 20 meters. Maximum 15 meters in the nozzle discharge system, not beyond that.
Okay.
But the cylinders are so small that it can accommodate anywhere. These are very small cylinders, so yeah, these can accommodate anywhere.
Yeah, we can lay out the only pipelines to wherever it is to be area to be covered.
Absolutely.
Like that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
If the pipelines are not longer, it has a limitation again. Discharge pipes cannot be beyond 4 meters.
4 meters. 4
meters, yes. So ideally, these systems are small systems which can be placed just beside where a fire hazard is present. So if I give you an example of a CNC machine, we mount it above the cylinder itself. So there is no additional space required. These are so small.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. May I know your good name because I can't see your name here.
Oh, sorry. Myself, Shashi.
And you're
I'm talking from I'm talking from Jalgaon, Maharashtra.
Jalgaon. Okay.
Yeah.
And which company, sir?
That is Rishabh Metals and Chemicals.
Okay. All right. Thank you for being present, sir.
Mr. Rohit.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good morning. This is Samaria from Micromatic Grinding Technologies. So we have used your system. We have used your 2-3 system recently. And earlier
Yes, sir.
we used fire trace also. I think you are representing fire trace also. But
Yes, we are
we find a
representing fire trace.
difference in cylinder size. So what is the difference whether it's a gas or a powder base, or what type of systems are these?
The difference?
Earlier we used a very small cylinder. Now I could see a cylinder size is big. So
The cylinder sizes are same, sir.
uh-huh.
The cylinder size is same, and the gas is also same. It's just that the cylinders are Indian.
Okay, so imported cylinders are smaller in size. Huh?
No, imported cylinders are. It's the same size that we're using, sir. Maybe the shape would be different. However, the capacity, it depends on the capacity. So earlier we must have used a 10 lb. Now we may be using a 5 kg. So 10 lb and 5 kg is almost the same capacity, around 250 grams difference.
Okay. And, what type of gas you use? You use gas or powder? What is inside in?
No, the gas is Novak 1230.
Pardon,
Novak, NOVEC, Novak 1230, SK5116.
Okay, okay. It is not powder based. Huh?
No, it is not powder based. We do not use powder in a CEC because it can spoil your machine. So these are non-conducting. Yeah, it's absolutely safe for your electronics. I did not have much time. Otherwise, I would have shown you videos of the gas as well. You can literally dip your phone into it and take it off, and it is so safe. But I'm not sure if it will disinfect your phone or not, considering the coronavirus thing. But it will definitely not spoil your phone.
Okay.
Yeah, so it is absolutely safe for your machines as well.
Okay. Because we have not used earlier, so we are used recently only, so we are learning. We want to keep part of a safety feature in our machine. So,
absolutely,
like any
sir.
machine with oil, it is a must.
Absolutely, it is a must.
So we have seen many customers are not using for years, and they say we have no. But we say we will not do any trial if you don't put the system at our end. Because we should wait for accident to happen and only take action.
Correct.
So
in fact, sir,
my opinion is if you are using any oil, meat cutting oil, this is a primary requirement. It has to be there, otherwise we are not supposed to run the machine.
Absolutely, sir. It is very, very important. In fact, just taking a step forward, I just wanted to mention one more thing which I did not in the presentation. When a manufacturer goes to their customers like yourself and tell them that you want a fire suppression system, the customers are thinking that the machine is not right, but then they do not understand that the grinding process is such that be it any make machine, the process itself is hazardous. Hence you need a fire suppression system. It is not the machine which is problematic, which is the process which is hazardous.
Yes, correct. Because we make only grinding machines. So
yes.
Because we
are honored to have you, sir.
We have one customer. He is using meat cutting oil and running machine for last 20 years, and they never use this system. And I think last year they had on fire, not machine, and machine completely got damaged. So then they came to know this is a requirement and it has to be there.
Okay.
Wait for
it is always the hard way. Absolutely. It is always the hard way that we learn, unfortunately.
Yes. So thank you very much for bringing this topic and awareness.
My pleasure, sir. My pleasure. Thank you for attending the event. I hope it was interesting and knowledgeable enough.
Yes. Can you share the PPT, because I missed initially few slides.
We will, sir. We will send across the PPT.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Any other questions? So any other questions that we have, or we can hang up for the session for now?
Yeah, I think we can hang up. Hello, now, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Okay. So, any other question to anybody? Okay. So, thank you, Rohit ji, and thank you all participants for participating in this webinar. I think today is a Saturday weekend, so still people have made it possible. So, thank you very much, participants. On behalf of CNC Time
Thank you,
and
Nagesh ji. Thank you,
on behalf of
everyone.
Bharat Electronics.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Thank you.